Hello and welcome everyone, DannyVNCR here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to stop exploring your bodies and join me on this little adventure we're having. And welcome to the very first episode of The First Cut. Now I know some of you, if not all of you, may be asking, The First Cut, what the fuck is this? Where is this coming from? Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna learn you. The First Cut is a series that I will be hosting from now on, exploring either independent artists or artists who belong to an independent record label through websites like Bandcamp, Free Music Archive, SoundCloud, and the like. We will be using specific phrases or genres or such whatever to find random artists and review them honestly and see what we think of their music. Today, we're just going through Bandcamp, and we're going with a tag that is one of my favorite subgenres, melodic death metal. Now, I know a lot of people will probably click away real quick because they probably don't like melodic death metal, and that's fine. But, of course, make sure... There's a lot of shit going on right now. Look at all this shit selling on Bandcamp. Oh, fuck. But, Make sure to subscribe anyways, because we may go over something that you really like, and you may like our opinion on that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? We're going to be reviewing 3 bands per episode in this series, and going over what we think of them honestly. So let's go ahead and get into the first band right now. So the first band that I listened to in my melodic death metal search, I chose randomly. I essentially went into Bandcamp. I typed in their search bar melodic death metal and just kind of scrolled through and picked randomly and listened to them. This was the first band that I listened to, called Deficiency. Deficiency is based out of France. Evidently, they go by melodic thrash metal, which is about right. So not exactly melodic death metal. However, I did rather enjoy their music, so I did want to include it in the list regardless. This is their album, The Dawn of Consciousness. For all artists that I will be reviewing, I will leave links to the media pages, so in this case, Bandcamp, and their Twitter feeds as well, so you can go check them out. Or, yeah, dependent on the thing. So anyways, Deficiency, melodic thrash metal, it sounds about right, to be completely honest. The big thing with Deficiency, I'll say, I did enjoy listening to this album. I've listened to all of these albums front to back. I did enjoy listening to the album. I'm reminded a bit of between, like, Symphony X and Winds of Plague. More on the thrashy side than the death side, like Winds of Plague. It also reminded me a bit of mid-career Trivium, if you're a fan. There was some the cleaner singing, so the non-screamy vocals actually reminded me a bit of Chester Bennington, actually, from Linkin Park. So any fans of that? Very gravelly, semi-high voice. Not bad. Definitely liked it. Well worth checking out. My only real complaint, I would say, is... I'm not crazy really about the album art too much. I think it's a little cheesy. That's certainly not the end of the world. That's just personal preference. But I wasn't very crazy about the... final production quality. I think it sounded a little thin and a little homogenized. Again, not the end of the world. It's certainly not. It's not. I wouldn't call it bad. It's easy to listen to. It sounded like it was missing that little end all it factor to me. So if you're really into that like mid-career Trivium kind of music, Deficiency, Dawn of Consciousness, check it out. I rather liked track 9, actually, the Post-Knowledge Day. That was a good one for me. So let's go ahead and get into the next one then, shall we? So the next band on our list is, God, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. I'm just going to say BrakK. That's how it looks to me. Double K, I would have to imagine that's going to be some hard shit. Or BrakK. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with BrakK. And their album, The Effect Caffeine. Now, this was actually a lot more my style. Thrash metal has never been that appealing to me, but this is really more that mellow death. And I really get into it. The only song I would say out of this I wasn't super crazy on was probably Bittersweet Defeat, but the rest of them to me were just really, really heavy. Great tone, actually, too, I would say. Nice, heavy, chunky guitar and drums and bass and everything. There were times I think that it sounded that the vocals in the album sounded a little thin. However, again, that could be a stylistic thing. I don't know. I've heard definitely some thinner screaming before that sounded really good. I really like this one, honestly. If you're big into melodic death metal, this one's not quite as intense as a band like Winds of Plague might be, or if you're used to listening to let's say technical death metal like The Faceless or other of these such. It's a little more withdrawn melodically, but I think that's completely fine. And I still rather enjoy it. It reminds me a little almost in its chunky kind of I don't want to say lo-fi, that's definitely not the term I'm looking for, but just it's really, really chunky recording style. It almost reminds me a bit of Pantera, actually, and some more like Deftones type stuff as well. Really excellent listen. I strongly recommend this one if you like big, chunky mellow death. BrakK being out of Brazil. Yeah. Ponta Grossa? Is that how you pronounce that? Ponta Grossa? I have no idea. Yeah, so I will, like I said before, I'll include links to the Bandcamp and everything else. Yeah, not a whole lot to say on this one, mostly because I don't have much bad to say, but this one was good. I strongly recommend it for all of you melodic death metal listeners. It's probably worth mentioning as well that I'm not playing any of the bands on here. I want to go ahead and explain that real quick before we move on. The big reason is that with most media sites, when you post copyrighted music specifically, the videos get flagged so fast it makes your head spin very often, and there's no real area for rebuttal. Even though it's just, hey, I'm reviewing the music, it can really fuck with you if you get flagged by the wrong people. Now I know that it's a lot more common to see that in large pop artists, hip hop, and really big touring metal and rock bands and whatnot. But I'll tell you, I've had my fair share of independent artist claims too. It's just something I just don't want to deal with. And I'd rather you listen to the music for yourself. So I won't be playing the music on the thing. I'll just be talking about them. But BrakK, check them out. Let's go into the next one. Now this next one's a little bit strange, and I'm going to open a little more into this one. That's why the other two have been a little shorter, because this one's a bit obfuscated in the way that it's set up. The band is called Vorbleed. There's only a song available on Bandcamp. That song was Wrath of the Phoenix, which is fun. It's a cool song. I'll post the link so you can check out that song, buy it if you want to. But I'll be including different links for them as well, because it's just the song. Now, the song came off the album that they had made a little while ago called The Book of Genesis, and by all means, I do not think that The Wrath of the Phoenix is the best song on the album. It was their EP. I apologize. Their EP is made back in 2014 off of Hitam Kilam Records. Not sure how to pronounce that. They're Indonesian. Funny enough, none of the bands that came up in my melodic death, I'm going to say melodeath from now on. That's my going term. In my melodeath feed, none of them were American, of all things, which is totally fine. There's one thing I think could be outsourced. Maybe it's melodic death metal. But yeah, so Vorbleed and their EP, Book of Genesis, I really enjoyed. I mean, there's a couple of songs that I wasn't crazy on. Aftermath was one of the ones in particular. I find that that's one of those things that a lot of modern death metal bands always seem to need to have a ballad song. I've never understood that. I know All Shall Perish did that in their The Price of Existence album with Grayson, I believe, was the name of the track. It's been a while since I've listened to it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but I've never really just kind of understood the need to just kind of have that one really soft-spoken song. It doesn't really make sense to me, but it is what it is, I guess. So you can check out this song here, or we're going to jump over to their YouTube real quick, which is more of what I recommend. So now you can see we're on their YouTube channel. Hey, look, it's me, little me. Anyways, we're on their YouTube channel. So Vorbleed Indonesia. And I will click into one of their videos so we can see that. Again, of course, I'm going to leave the link in the description and everything. What was the one? The Remaining Evolution. This was the big one that I was more emphatic about. Ain't nobody need to see that Wix advertisement. You fucking kidding me? An advert within an advert. So yeah, now that I've talked about all of that, I'll go ahead and open up. So Vorbleed, I mean, they're a bit of, I think, kind of what you expect when you think of melodic death metal. The tone is good. I mean, the musicality is completely fine. I'm reminded a lot of the Black Dahlia Murder, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I love the Black Dahlia Murder, but it feels a little generic. I don't want to say really generic necessarily, but it does feel a little bit generic. Obviously, I would say the name, Vorbleed is reminding me a lot of Volbeat and Voivod. And I have to say I'm not crazy about the names of really any of their stuff. I think the music is fine. The music is very, very fun to listen to. If you're big into mellow death, of course. But yeah, the name Vorbleed, I'm not crazy about it. Book of Genesis, The Remaining Evolution, any of their other songs, you can see Aftermath, Nest, Three Horned Face, all of that. So, fun band to listen to. Let me find real quick. Here's their YouTube, like I said, the Bandcamp, but you can only really get the one song off of Bandcamp. So let me find their album real quick. So yeah, if you come to the Metal Archives, you can buy their album here, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Buy from eBay or more. eBay. Wow. So I guess you can buy it from eBay. Interesting. I don't know how I didn't notice this earlier. And yeah, it looks like it's on on cassette, of all things. I'm sure there's a CD, if that's your preference. I mean, cassettes are starting to make a comeback, so I really can't fault them for making a cassette, although this was made back in 2014. But anyways, so that is Vorbleed, and that is going to wrap up our reviews for this episode. Sorry guys, I was kind of it wasn't as formal as I would have liked. Everything was kind of just all put together real quick. However, the next episode will be featuring Red Llama. As you may remember, he and I make up Natural Cut Records, and he and I will both be reviewing artists that we discovered together from here on. I don't know what his key phrase is, but I know he's already been working on it, and the second episode of this should be coming out pretty soon. So yeah, in summary, Vorbleed, pretty cool if you like the standard mellow death. The thrash from Deficiency, I think it's fun. It's a little thin, like I said, but it's fun. It's fun to listen to. But BrakK was my big pull away. I definitely would check them all out. but BrakK was my big one. And from here too, we'll be creating a list of top 10 singles that we come across for each month as well. So make sure to follow DannyVNCR at Twitter. You can find me at twitter.com at DannyVNCR and all that. I'll post links in the description. You know how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.